think one of the biggest misconceptions about the asexual community is that asexual people don't date, which isn't true for all asexuals. There are asexual people out there who are interested in dating and relationships. So I thought, why not check out what some people in the asexual community think of dating, how they go about dating, and give some advice to asexual folks out there who are looking to get into dating.
The Ace Council would like to advise those aces who are interested in dating and are worried about bringing up their status because they think it might turn off potential partners. We're not going to lie to you. It is going to make things more difficult. However, you should not hide this from your future partners, because your partner should understand who you are and go out of their way to make sure that you are not uncomfortable. And if you hide something from that, it's hard for them to know. Honesty and communication is what makes relationships work. And if a potential partner acts offended or shitty about you being asexual and tries to pressure you into things, they probably would be shitty about a lot of other things too. You deserve someone who, at the very least, does not make you uncomfortable. And if they do make you uncomfortable, and they know they are making you uncomfortable, and you have brought it up to them multiple times, that's what the trident is for. It's for a lot of other things too, but like this, pokey time.
Everything he said is spot on. I think a lot of asexual folks are a bit intimidated when it comes to dating, even if they are looking for a potential partner or do want to get into the dating scene. The idea of scaring off someone because you're asexual, the right person will not be scared off by you being asexual. And honestly, I completely agree with him not hiding your asexuality. Your partner or potential partner should know exactly who you are and be comfortable with it, and have you be comfortable with it, so everyone is comfortable and communicative and knows what's going on from the get-go. I definitely think that if you have someone who is being shitty about your asexuality, they'll probably be not so great about a whole bunch of other things. Letting someone know, hey, I'm not into this, or I completely don't do whatever, or maybe I do this, maybe I do that, it depends on the day. You are literally trying to tell them about who you are. And that's what a relationship is. You're trying to be your most authentic self with someone and letting them know, hey, this is who I am, take it or leave it. And if they leave it, that just means they weren't meant for you. It does make dating harder. It is sometimes a little uncomfortable to bring up, especially because a lot of allosexual people do take it super personally, like, oh, you're not sexually attracted to me, like, why would I want to be with you? But sexual attraction isn't everything in a relationship. Sex isn't everything in a relationship. What your body does for another person is not everything in a relationship. I love everything he said. It's spot on. When you are looking for a potential partner as an asexual person, being as clear and communicative as possible up front so that the person knows this is what I'm getting into is honestly the best policy, for me at least. But I also talk about my asexuality and my queerness and my non-binariness and everything pretty openly anyway, so if anyone's ever interested in me, they'll know from the get-go. It's definitely something you should not hide. You shouldn't be ashamed of being asexual, and the right person will love you and not be shitty about it.
Okay, maybe it's just me and my asexual brain, but I need to know if anyone else can relate. So like all my friends always talk to me about their crushes, and they're like, they like meet a new person and they're like, oh my god, I have a crush on them, like I am so attracted to them. And I'm like, how? Like you've literally known that person for like a day, like a week. How do you have a crush on them? I don't get it. Like, you know, I can meet someone new and be like, oh yeah, they're attractive, sure, but I'm not attracted to them. I don't know them yet. Like, you barely even know their personality. Like, they could be a literal asshole. Why are you attracted to them just because they're pretty? Like, there's been multiple instances for my crushes when I've met the person and I was like, I don't really find them attractive. I mean, not that they're ugly, but like, I never found them attractive. And then I got to know them and their personality, and then I found them attractive. Like, that's just how it works for me. And like, for me, crushes take like 3 to 4 business months to develop. Like, I don't get how people can like see a person and then within a week like be head over heels for them. I don't understand. I'm sorry. Also, dating app culture, I don't understand. why would you want to go on a date with someone you don't know? Like, I mean, I get that's supposedly like the point of dating, but I feel I want to date someone that I know already. I'm sorry, I don't get it.
So I think this is a thing with a lot of people who are on the asexual spectrum. Specifically, like demisexual people, it sounds like she's a little bit more on the demi side of the asexual spectrum, which I completely understand. And I totally understood her whole, it takes 3 to 4 business months. For me, it's more like 6 to 9 business months if I'm gonna have a crush on someone. But I completely like get this. As an asexual person, it just has always confused me how someone can develop a crush so quickly and so easily on someone when you don't know them. You don't know them. Like she said, they could be a mean person. They could be a not nice person. Like, it's so interesting to me how people will literally develop a crush just because they are physically and sexually attracted to them. And I'm just like, how are you doing that? Like, I don't understand. And I completely get what she was saying. And this has happened to me like platonically too. Like, I'll meet someone, I'll be like, okay, yeah. And then they'll progressively get more attractive to me, like in platonic sense or romantic sense or sexual sense. Like, that's always been the case for me. Like, I'll meet someone, not really think much of it, but the longer I know them, the more I'm like, oh my god, this is a beautiful human being and I absolutely adore them. So I completely get where she's coming from. Also, dating app culture, I get that too, because why would you want to go on a date with someone you don't know? Also, going on a date with someone that you know can be awkward because it could like ruin what you've got going on. But I think like telling someone how you feel is the most honest thing you can do. But personally, I prefer to go on dates with people that I already know and feel comfortable with. But honestly, if you are an asexual person who uses dating apps, let me know in the comments down below how that has worked out for you, because I've never really done it. I think the most dating app thing I've ever done is like download Facebook dating app thing just because I was bored one day. But yeah, it's just so interesting to me how allosexual people go about finding and being in relationships compared to asexual folks going about being in relationships. So I have a lot of thoughts on this and a lot of feelings on this. I think someone can say they're okay with someone being asexual and not know what it's actually like to be with an asexual person. Because there are asexual people who are comfortable with doing certain activities and being intimate in different ways. However, there are also a lot of asexuals who are not comfortable with anything and don't want to do anything of that nature. And I don't think a lot of allosexual people like think about how the asexual person isn't going to change their mind. Like, if someone says, hey, I'm not going to do this, they're not going to do that. Unfortunately, and a lot of examples of this are allosexual people being sexually attracted and romantically attracted to someone who's on the asexual spectrum. The asexual person says, hey, I'm asexual, are you okay with that? And they're like, yeah, because they are attracted to that person. It's completely fine to be attracted to an asexual person. But then they go into it and they get frustrated. They want certain needs met. And it's not the asexual person's fault that the allosexual person agreed to be in a relationship knowing full well what the dynamic was going to be and what they were and weren't comfortable with. I definitely think that a lot of blame, unfortunately, gets placed on the asexual person for not fulfilling relationship needs and all of that kind of stuff. But I also think it's on the allosexual person knowing full well getting into a relationship what they were gonna get and then Pikachu facing when they got exactly what they were told they were gonna get. I think it takes a very specific kind of allosexual person to be in a relationship with an asexual person. I I know there are a lot of people that are like, well, why don't asexual people go just be with other asexual people? Do you know how small of the percentage of people in the world who are actually asexual? I think it's between 1 and 3% now. I think it's gone up a little bit, but it's a small percentage of people. The majority of asexual folks are most likely going to be in a relationship with an allosexual person. It's just the allosexual person needs to respect the boundaries of the asexual person. Asexual person also needs to respect the boundaries of the allosexual person. Boundaries need to be respected in general. I personally don't think you can necessarily get mad or be upset when someone has told you, hey, this is a thing going into a relationship, and then you're like, wait, why is this thing happening? You know what I mean? And it makes me sad because I know that a lot of asexual people probably feel a lot of guilt and blame on themselves when it doesn't work out. And it's not on you. It just didn't work out with this one person because it didn't work out with this one person. Just because one relationship doesn't work out, it doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to love you exactly the way you are. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what advice you would have for other asexual people looking to get into relationships, or relationship advice for ace people in general. I hope this video helped anyone out in the ace community who is feeling a little discouraged about dating or wanting to get into relationships, or ace people who don't want to get into relationships and are just like, well, I'll watch the video. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon as well. It's how I continue to make videos like this and the best way to support this little queer channel. Thank you all again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.